obviously all aware of this, and I don't know if you're totally aware of why new conservation has come forward. The reason for this is because there's, in the Goodmans, there has been such a lengthy delay between the first appeal and planning law has changed. We now have the National Planning Policy Framework, which has been modified 3 times during the last 5 years. So now they've had to put in a new addendum to the environmental statement. This document is something like 3,500 pages long. A lot of the old remains, but there are a lot of new things. Some of the things we need to be particularly careful of, there's floodplain being taken up. But they're saying that they will be reducing ground levels in other areas, so no floodplain is effectively lost. But because you've always got the problem that when you start moving floodplains about, water will tend to find its own course. We've already had serious flooding problems in Colnbrook, mainly because of a lot of built-up areas that have gone on. 2 things that we've also got to remember is that, although in terms of the appeal, we can only look at one particular appeal at a time, or one project at a time. What we have got to remember is if the 3rd runway gets proposed, SIFE cannot operate unless it is contained within the airport boundary. Now, if that happens, the airport will take a much larger footprint than is currently given. The other option is the extension of the northern runway. So basically, we've got, as far as the actual site is there, they've now, the planning inspectorate have now put forward a timetable. The consultation finishes on the 29th of May. So anybody who's submitted to the appeal and they wish to review what they submitted in line with the changes needs to be in by the 29th of May. There's, at the moment, they're going for submissions of updated statements and cases of common ground will be on the 22nd of June, which again is very short notice. Pre-inquiry meeting will be on the 20th of July. That will probably be at the centre, but that has got to be confirmed yet. Submission and proofs of evidence will be on the 11th of August. And the inquiry will start on the 8th of September. Run for 16 days. So that is how we stand at the moment. I think one thing that we've all got to remember is that it doesn't matter what standpoint we're all coming from here. I know from the point of view of residents, we don't want it. We don't want this development. From the point of view of business, Slough Borough Council, this is a chance for employment. So there's 2 edges to this sword of ordinance. What we have to do is try and balance out and try and keep emotion into it. The planning policy framework is very specific. We can object and make cases purely on the law, planning law, not on emotion. Because as soon as you go to emotion, you lose the argument with certainly the planning inspector. What we've got to also consider that last time, when the appeal was being heard, the South East plan had just been revoked. But the South East plan had come back temporarily because under consultation throughout the whole of the South East, there was flaws that were highlighted in revocation. So that came back in. The South East plan has now finally been and that has gone. So we lose the protection that Greenbelt specifically had, because the onus was put on local authorities in their planning documents in order to protect Greenbelt in their area. Believe it or not, Slough They do mention in their policy framework that the Colne Valley Park list the 6 objectives that the Colne Valley Park aim to promote. But that still doesn't really mean that is enough to stop this going ahead. What we have to do is the other side of the double-edged sword. What we're trying to do is maintain the original premise of green belt policy, and that is there will be no net loss. So if something has to go ahead, then it's sort of joined up passageway of green belt. So that is really where we're at the moment. The other biggest thing to remember is that whenever you hear of any of these projects that are going ahead, we've got SIFE, we've got RAF, we've got HS2, we're very far away, we've got Heathrow. They are all banded by a government as being in the national interest. My response to that is, why does Colnbrook have to support the national interest in every one of these developments? And that is a very salient point to project forward to the inspectorate at the appeal hearing. Because at the end of the day, we're taking all the, let's say, all the negativity these developments are bringing to us, but we're not getting mitigation in return. So at the moment, that's all.
Good. Thanks.